Hey guys, long time no see, Doward here. You've probably noticed that I haven't done a video in a while. There's a good reason for that. I have been so busy lately. I mean, it's been crazy. I'm going back to school, I'm working full time. You know, I've got my 2-year-old boy, and just things have been insane. I haven't had any time to get anything done outside of just work, school, sleep, work, school, sleep. And any little bit of free time I've had, and of course, spend it with my family. But tonight, I have the house to myself, which means I'm going to finally get to get something checked off my list of things to do. Now you're probably looking at that monitor sitting over there and going, gosh, this is a huge waste of space sitting here next to it. And you'd be right. But what are we going to do about this? We're going to install a VESA mount on the wall. We're also going to check out these Dorman tight triple grip little drywall fasteners. These are supposed to be good for 51 pounds, and while my monitor doesn't weigh anywhere near that, I figured what the heck, we'll give them a whirl. So to make this installation happen, we're going to need the fasteners, of course, a cordless drill bit with a 1/4 inch drill bit installed, and we're going to need some measurements. See, the idea here is I want the bottom of this LCD to match up with the other one. So, how are we going to do that? Now to do this, we're going to use math. Don't worry, it's only going to hurt for a little bit. Follow along. See here, this is of course a used mount, but I've already mounted up the actual VESA mount to the back of my monitor. And what we're going to do here is mock up our mount. First, I need to establish what distance I've got here. It turns out it's about 5 3/4 inches from the base of the VESA mount to the bottom of my LCD. It looks like we've got about 1/4 inch from the center of the bolt hole to the edge of the lip. So 6 inches from where this bolt is down here. Now what we'll do is we'll measure out the distance here from the bottom to the bottom of the LCD panel itself, and that looks to be about 1 1/4 inches. Alright, so what that means is that since I know it's 6 inches from here to the bottom, minus the 1 1/4 of the bezel, means that from the bottom of this mount to the edge of the actual LCD screen is going to be 4 3/4 inch. Now what we've done with that measurement is we've given ourselves a reference point. I now know how far my mount will be from the bottom of the LCD. So now what I'll do is add that distance to the distance from my desk to the bottom of my current LCD. And this is sitting right about 4 1/4 inches. Alright, so what that tells me is I need to make the bottom part of my mount 9 inches up. So how far over do I need to go for my first hole? Well, if we come back to the LCD, what I can do here is, through the magic of editing, suddenly make the mount appear. So what I want to do now is measure the distance from here to the hole. Looks to be right around 10 inches from the edge of the monitor over to the hole. So now we'll mark it 9 inches up, 10 inches over. That'll be our first hole. Alright, so that's where my first hole will get drilled. We'll go ahead and put one of our tight grips in. Squish those sides in and get this thing in here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and screw this thing in place. Alright, so you can see I've got one screw in here now. Now what I'll do is I'm going to put this right at 9 inches up. So what I'm going to do is I'll mark out this hole, and then I'll go ahead and slide this over and drill the next hole. So I'm going to mark my top 2 holes, I'll drill and put those in, and then let's install it and see where we're at. So next step is going to be to go ahead and hook up our cables, and we'll mount it back around the wall. Alright, here we are. And look at that. Almost perfectly aligned. And these are 2 different model monitors, as you can see. Well, maybe if my camera would decide to focus. Well, here we are, all mounted up. Check that out. Well, there you have it. We went ahead and installed a second monitor right on the wall using a VESA mount. As you can see, dual monitor goodness. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe think about subscribing to the channel. If you didn't like it, then tell me what I can do better. And have a sad face.